Hey guys, Tofuru here, and welcome back to some more Danganronpa, Goodbye Despair. And where we last left off, we pretty much cleared all the groundwork for the trial. So let's figure out who's the real culprit. Yeah, without further ado, let's get past this intermission and back to the story.
Why, hello there! I thought of a new bad word to call Monami.
I can already tell I won't be pleased with this.
Then, let me say it right away!
I'm already used to insults and slander. There's no way I'd get hurt by a mere word.
Monami is a serious Stufatli.
That's so much more straightforward than I expected. Stufatli, huh?
Tisk, tisk, tisk. That's not it. That's not it at all. Stupid, fat, and ugly. The perfect jet stream attack of incorporating all three of these would be... Ta-da! Stufatli.
Huh?
What? There's a fat hidden in there?
Okay, everyone, all together now. Monami is a serious Stufatli.
Oh, Stufatli. Okay. Alright, well that was, I guess, an intermission of sorts. I'll save my progress, and let's see what's in store for us here.
Hello. I hope your day is well.
It could be better, Monami.
I'm trying to force myself to be more energetic, or else my mental state won't be able to keep up.
Okay.
My heart's thumping like crazy. I might as well have a laid-back, so what attitude and go ahead with high energy.
Fair enough, I guess.
Yeehaw! But be careful that your batteries don't run out for various reasons. And just like I say each time, don't forget to save frequently.
Oh wow, that was a short one. I thought she would explain what happened, but I guess not. Alright, so what's up, Chiaki?
I never expected the funhouse itself to be the ultimate weapon.
Oh yeah, because now we know what the octagon is.
Oh well, let's just press on ahead.
I love how you just forget.
Is it really alright to accept a situation so easily?
I mean, the reveal is the reveal. You just gotta work with it, right?
I mean, that's not what's important. The thing that's really important is the killer who used the building structure. Like, who's Mekomaru's murderer?
Oh yeah, who was crazy enough to try the shooting game?
But is it really okay to believe the building is the weapon? Nagito said it, you know.
Well, it is the weapon. I mean, it allows you to maneuver between both sides, so you're completely safe from being revealed as the killer.
There's no way I'd lie at such an important moment. I don't want to die either.
Huh. That's the first time I've ever heard you say that, Nagito.
What happened to the bastard who kept saying how much they didn't mind dying?
Exactly. Thank you, Fujihiko.
He's right. There was a time when I thought I could become a stepping stone for your hopes, but I will sincerely retract that remark.
Oh man, you sound like a totally different person now.
Retract?
I'm disappointed too, you know. If this was a murder for the sake of hope, I'd happily sacrifice myself.
Then what type of murder is it?
You say such falsehoods, per usual. There is no such thing as murder for the sake of hope. Murder is simply murder. Forcibly sacrificing others for one's own desires. Even one as diabolical as I would avoid such actions.
Huh. For you to say that, I guess you could. I mean, I don't know. I thought you were kind of one of the culprits.
I see.
It's fine. Let's just leave him alone and find out who killed Coach Nekomaru as fast as we can.
I agree, Akane. Let's go figure this out.
Just so you know, it's not like I'm getting hungry or anything, you know.
I thought you ate already.
Akane! You're drooling waterfalls?
Nagito, as usual, I can't tell what he's thinking, and I have no idea if he's serious or not.
Anyway, if the killer used the building structure, why don't we think about how they used it?
Probably the ability to maneuver between, to call the hall up to each floor to hide the evidence.
How they killed Nekomaru.
It might be better if we clarify the cause of death first, don't you think?
I suppose. Nekomaru's cause of death, huh? He was horribly damaged, as if he had been beaten senseless with a blunt object. But if he'd been beaten with a blunt object, it wouldn't be a kill that utilized the building structure. So what was Nekomaru's cause of death that also utilized the building structure? I didn't think about that, but I don't think that's it. Yeah. Fair enough, I guess.
Crap.
I misunderstood. That would have been a brutal death to use the building. Alright, so what killed Nekomaru? What are our options here? Falling, beaten with a blunt object, dead battery. I mean, falling? How would you force someone to fall? What, they tied him up and then pressed the button? I mean,
I see.
Really? They forced him to fall that far?
That's it. I think he might have died from falling.
That's intense. Oh, wait, was he tied to the... No, because the doors were locked on the lower floor, not the upper floor.
Died from falling?
If the funhouse's secret is that it's a structure where both towers and houses are vertically connected,
Yeah, if he fell through the halls, he would die instantly.
then the killer made use of its height and caused Nekomaru to die from falling.
Are you saying they pushed him off? Where'd they push him off from?
That, I don't know yet.
Don't just make things up when you don't know the method.
That's not really making him up. I mean, he has a valid point.
Where in that building would you even be able to push someone off in the first place?
It might be possible in the tower. You could push him off the 4th floor when the elevator is on the 1st floor.
Did you forget how the elevator functions? When it's on the 1st floor, the door on the 4th floor won't open.
Yeah, but technically if you turn him off, he could sit in that room.
Saying he died from falling is truly incorrect. You should burn in the flames of hell.
Alright, you're even more suspicious again, Gundam. Welcome back to the suspicion.
But my gut is going crazy right now.
If Nekomaru died from falling, where did the killer shove Nekomaru from? If I'm going to reach the truth behind this incident, I need to solve that mystery next. Well, he did go... I think it's the good night button is the answer, but I don't...
When the elevator is on the 1st floor, you can't go through the door on the 4th floor.
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
Then, how about this? After locking Nekomaru inside the elevator, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor and made use of the drop.
Hold on, did you forget the elevator has a sensor? As long as there's a moving object inside.
Got him.
No, that's wrong!
The good night button counters that perfectly, because he isn't moving then.
That sensor should only work if something is moving. If Nekomaru wasn't moving inside, the elevator sensor wouldn't have detected anything.
Could it be his sleep mode?
Correct. It would make him the only person you could kill that way.
When Nekomaru's goodnight button is pressed, all of his functions shut down, and he enters sleep mode. If he's in sleep mode, the elevator sensor wouldn't have noticed him, right?
I see. So that's how...
However, even if they moved the elevator in that manner, Nekomaru would have just moved along with it.
See, that's where I think it's wrong. I think that some way they tied him to both. Maybe to the doorknob, and then he fell.
There would have been no drop for him to fall and die from, yes?
That's what I was about to explain, before Kazuichi interrupted me.
Silence, pest!
Oh, shit, Sonya. Wait, Sonya, why are you interrupting?
Now you're calling me a pest?
Oh, you're shutting him up. A way to create a drop inside an elevator while Nekomaru's still in it. Chucky seems to have an idea, but what way could that be? Well, I would assume by the rope. It was tied around him, and the doorknob came off the top floor. Yeah, I think it's the broken doorknob.
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is...
I never thought about it, but they really do pause
hammer
out.
is suspicious.
The hammer is not suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
No.
What about the oil on the floor?
No.
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
I wanted to support that, but...
Crap!
I think that's it. It's the doorknob. Anyway, I do find
If
it
you
funny
arrange
that
it a certain way,
they pause their statements out.
you can
It's very
cause
funny.
the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us to think about the arrangement.
That arrangement. The hammer is suspicious. Isn't it about time?
What about the oil on the
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
How about we all shut up and listen to what Chiaki has?
Silence, pest!
Don't be. What if I start to enjoy it?
Freaking weirdo. Okay. How can you create a difference in the elevation?
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
I mean, I'd want to support that kind of comment. Yeah, like, I'd want to support that. Even Hajime's not listening to me. How 100 mega shocking. I'm serious, though. There's a way to create a difference in the elevator. In the elevation. In the elevation.
If you
What do we
arrange it a
do?
certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're
Tipped
telling us
over
all
pillar?
to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is... The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
What about the oil on the floor?
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
Oh, what is it? It's like we just started this episode and I can't figure it out. Alright.
Crap!
We got, I think, one more shot at this.
If you arrange it a certain way, you can
Wire.
cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement... The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar?
What about the oil on the floor?
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
How about we all shut up?
Silence!
Don't.
So
What
the
if I
ending
start
words
to
are
enjoy it?
completely useless. Okay, good to know.
If you arrange it a certain... You can cause the drop within the elevator.
I don't think you...
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement.
That arrangement is...
The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
What about the oil on the floor?
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
There we go. I was trying to figure out how
with
things
that.
collect or work together. I was like, it's gotta be the wire or the chain. The wire with the doorknob. You could
Didn't
have
the
held them
doorknob
up high
have
enough.
scrape marks on it?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think about that. The wire probably was chafing on it until it popped off, because he almost broke it the first time he was trying to get to the door. It's probably the same doorknob.
That might have been where it got scraped by the wire.
Oh, oh god.
Is that the same wire that was tied around Nekomaru?
Probably.
The tip of that
Did have a
wire was
loop.
tied into a loop. If the elevator moved while that loop part hung from the doorknob,
If they did something like that, he would have been suspended in midair.
That's a dark way to die. He probably hit the pillar as he came down.
That's right. He was suspended in midair. Huh? The killer tied up Nekomaru with the wire while he was in sleep mode. Tied the tip of the wire into a knot and hung it on the doorknob to the 4th floor. With that, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor of Grape Tower. And suspended Nekomaru in midair.
That's right! He was so well hung! Kinda like...
You better not finish that sentence.
I actually like the fact that this is jokes they're having here. Oh god.
the killer took advantage of the elevator's unique feature. Only the floor moves. By doing that, they created a drop so Nekomaru could fall to his death.
Fuck.
Too easy.
What? How would you make that argument now?
So what if they created a drop? There's no way you can make him fall and die with just that.
I mean, that's a high fall, even for him. I guess you're right, but he hit the pillar.
Why? If Nekomaru is suspended in midair like that, then how do you get him to fall?
His alarm clock goes off?
Because if he's suspended in midair, he won't die if he doesn't actually fall.
Alright, I can rebuttal you, dude. Let's go for it. Alarm timer. There we go. Because everything was set back.
Even if they suspended Nekomaru from a... How would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him off. There's no way they could do that.
Oh, I'm out of slices? Oh, God. Alright.
Even if they suspended Nekomaru from a walk, how would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him off. There's no way they could do that.
Alright, I guess we got through that one. Whew.
Doesn't mean someone had to push him off. It's possible that he fell on his own.
It's very possible.
What? Nekomaru fell on his own?
Oh, come on.
Crap!
What? Nekomaru fell on his own? Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode, right?
There we go. I knew I was gonna
cut
find
through
it.
those words.
Alright, we broke through. Wasn't too bad.
What do you think would happen if Nekomaru woke up while he was suspended upside down in midair?
He'd probably freak out.
What are you saying? Like, how would he even wake up?
How would you wake up? I don't know. Naturally? I mean, in his case, an alarm.
He has an alarm inside his body. As long as it was armed, it would have deactivated his sleep mode. Which means the killer set the alarm before they suspended Nekomaru.
How'd they get access to the clock, though?
If you woke up from an alarm and realized you were hanging upside down and had no clue why, if something like that happened to you, you would start panicking a lot, right?
Yeah, I mean, Nekomaru also probably was, like, trying to stay up there. I would assume the knob would have broken before he got out, though.
Instinctively, your body would start moving. Nekomaru probably did exactly that.
And then, in order to make him fall from the force he was generating, the wire was hung on the tip of the doorknob so it would easily slip off. In actuality, the scrape marks caused by the wire were near the tip of the doorknob, right?
Yeah.
But Nekomaru didn't fall because the wire came off, right?
No, the doorknob came off. His weight took it off eventually.
He fell because the entire doorknob came off.
Yeah.
When Nekomaru awoke, he must have struggled much more than expected, which caused the doorknob to break off.
Was that unexpected for the killer too?
Well, that's probably it. If they knew it'd leave behind evidence like that, they would have at least tried to do something to cover it up.
Yeah, they probably didn't realize that could happen. The killer didn't expect the doorknob to come off. The reason that even happened was because... In that case, I shall use my full power. Oh yeah, nobody else saw that. With a fierce roar, Nekomaru put all of his power into grabbing the doorknob with both hands. But... clatter, 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 clatter. Not yet. Here it comes. The incredible strength of 1,000,000 horsepower. Ugh. Wait, isn't that creaking? You'll break off the doorknob. We'll be stuck in here. If that's really what it was, then that's the clue Nekomaru left for us to find.
I see. So that's how Nekomaru fell to his death.
Do you finally understand now?
Yeah. It appears it's just as Miss Sonia said. I'm just a pest. No, I'm not just a pest. I'm a total fucking pig.
Ironically, I feel like... okay.
Isn't that right, Miss Sonia?
Oh, now
if
he
I'm a fucking
loves...
pig, you can say so.
Yeah, now he loves being tortured.
No, I believe you gave your all.
Hey, why aren't you teasing me anymore?
This guy. He gets off on this!
Yeah, now he's the opposite. He gets off on being teased.
So thanks to that alarm, Nekomaru ended up falling while he was still hanging upside down.
And he probably flew right into the pillar and then collapsed that, but he left... That's how... That would explain the fragments underneath him.
That doesn't mean he just crashed straight into the floor. Of course, you know that too, right?
I do. It doesn't mean Nekomaru crashed straight into the floor. the moment Nekomaru fell to the floor, the only thing I could think of that happened to him was that he collided with the pillar.
I see!
Of course, that's what happened. All the facts point to it.
When Nekomaru fell to the floor, he ended up colliding with the pillar. Isn't that it?
Finally, the pillar!
So that's how the pillar shattered, and why oil was spilled all over the place.
Yes, but I don't know if that effectively killed him.
See, I told you the pillar was the weapon. My gut was totally right.
I mean, really, the wire was the weapon if that's the case.
Well, the pillar was a bonus. It's not even clear if the killer intended that, or if it was just a coincidence.
At this point, it is quite difficult to find a clue that will lead to the killer.
Yeah, I
Then
agree.
what about the alarm?
Whoever set the clock set the alarm, because they set all the normal clocks back 2 hours and set that alarm on time.
I'm positive the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.
Oh,
And if we
wait.
map it out from there...
The only way that would work is if somebody intentionally, because they set the other clocks back, and then Nekomaru went down like normal, and nobody went with him. Once he was in there, someone knocked him out, and then reset his... He probably got there early, actually, and then reset his alarm. But to be able to do that in 30 minutes sounds a little risky at best.
Hold on, baby gangsta.
Good name.
Stop calling me Baby Gangsta!
What'd you just say? Did you say the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.?
You didn't check it yourself? Nekomaru's alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.
It's true.
Nah, that's impossible. 'Cause even though I slept in a little, I still got to the tower at 7 in the morning.
Now that you mention it, so did I. There was no way I could be late for Monokuma Tai Chi, so I left for Grape Tower before 7 a.m.
Do you love it that much, Sonia?
And if we found Nekomaru's body there, it would have been before the 7:30 a.m. alarm went off.
It appears yet another contradiction has been birthed.
What, do you think that he set his own alarm or someone set his alarm ahead of time?
How were you able to discover Nekomaru died at 7:30 a.m. when you went to the tower at 7?
That's what I want to know!
Another mystery I don't understand. Seriously, it's just one after another. But I can't choke up at a time like this. Just a little more, and I'll be able to reach the truth. There should definitely be a clue breaking through this contradiction. Okay. So whoever is our culprit will probably be revealed through this situation. You know what? It's the radio clock. His is perfect. You can't change his.
We headed for Grape Tower.
Everyone else's clocks can be
Before
adjusted.
7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m.
Correct.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
His time of death and the time the body was discovered. One of those must be an illusion.
I mean, yeah, sure.
Killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest.
That's the one you lied to.
No, that's wrong!
They messed with every other clock. He woke up on time, we didn't.
No, the clock inside his chest was a radio clock, so it would have been impossible to mess with.
So you're saying there's no way the killer could have tampered with the clock?
Hell no.
Maybe the clock Miss Sonia saw was the one that got tampered with.
Exactly.
The clock inside Grape House?
No, I checked all the clocks inside the funhouse.
Oh, that's what I asked you to do. So you really listened to me and checked all the clocks.
Of course, you just told him a thing, he tried.
And because of that, I can confidently declare that all the clocks had the same time displayed.
If there's no possibility that the time was tampered with, then we must doubt that human's testimony.
Okay.
Please believe me, we are not lying.
Then maybe it's a misunderstanding?
Yeah, no, don't skew your truth. Someone's lying here.
I never misunderstand. I'll crush you into dog food.
This time-related contradiction, I don't think I should doubt the testimonies. I should doubt the clock. There's no mistake that something was done, but what was it? Perhaps we overlooked something. Maybe we're misunderstanding something. If I focus and think, I should be able to find the answer to that mystery. Logic dive. Alright. These are fun. Alright. Trying to think what's in store for us here. So, I'm really starting to think we are closing in on the murderer in this case, and I really am leaning towards it being our friendly neighborhood monster hunter. The cool. What did Hajime and the others understand? Oh, misunderstand. Where? Time in the building. I guess. I guess this was chosen for me. That's the first time I slid into the correct answer. Couldn't decide it. Yeah, we didn't understand the time. Our issue is that the normal clocks were changed, and Monokuma's, or not Monokuma's, Mekamaru's was correct, because it's a radio clock. Ooh, that's a unique trip here, okay. That's some cool okay, game, giving me a nice tilt right there. Alright, question 2. Which clock was tampered with? The building's clocks, obviously. These are easy questions, but it doesn't answer what I'm feeling. The radio clock can't be tampered with. It's perfect. That's like a redundant question. And both, I mean, only one could be tampered with. The outside clocks. The inside clocks are going to be left alone. Ooh, okay. Oh, come on. I got through it. Alright. What else could be tampered? Well, how do they tamper them? Could they lift them and do it? I mean, Fuihiko technically was staring at one when it went off. Which house had the wrong time? Ooh. Strawberry House. Actually. I think Strawberry House had the wrong time. Because they woke up and they were... Oh, no, it was both! Wow! Both houses. Okay. So they messed with both of them. You know what? They probably set one ahead and one behind. No, that would be too clever. That would be way too clever to mess with everybody. Like, put one couple ahead. So it's both houses. Both houses were tampered with. They're probably both set ahead early. Because when Fuihiko did get up, he did say it was 5:30, which was probably 7:30.
You said you checked all the clocks inside the building. Isn't that right, Fuyuhiko?
Yeah, none of the clocks had the wrong time.
But what if all those clocks have been messed with?
Oh, man, this...
What? All the clocks?
Yeah, then you have no verification of which is the right time.
So even if you checked all the clocks inside the building, there's no way you'd have noticed it.
I see. So the killer messed with the time inside the whole building by changing all the clocks.
So that's what it was. There's no way I would have noticed that.
Well, I mean, if you take into consideration that Mekumaru is the only one who has perfect time, then you could assume.
This is truly fantastic!
Now's not the time to be pleased. More importantly, how much was the time off?
2 hours early? She's right. That's the main problem. I need to clarify by how much the time was off after the killer messed with the clocks. That's definitely the next mystery. I'm going to reach the truth in one go. Alright. Got another argument. This is really like the meat and potatoes of this thing. I saw... Yeah, Nagito's sudden appearance would allow someone to go through both, but... What are we trying to figure out?
If the time in the building was all messed up, then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
Correct.
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
Yeah.
The problem is, what time would 7:30 be in our time?
9?
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow that down?
If only I heard the sound when he fell. It would have been a great clue.
Oh, fuck.
Or his scream.
Fuihiko has
He's
the
not
account.
the type to let out a scream.
If only Nekomaru's alarm was loud enough, we would have heard it too.
There's no point in saying that. If does not exist in this world.
Yeah, I got it. So how much did it... Because Fuihiko got up at a time.
If the time in the building was off, then we can only
I just gotta
rely on
figure out where it
Nekomaru's
goes.
radio clock.
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
The problem is, what time would 7:30 be in our time?
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow that?
If only I heard the sound when he fell. It would have been a great clue.
Or his scream.
No.
He's not the type.
If only we would have heard it too.
There's no point in if does not exist in this world.
Where does it go?
If the time in the build, then we can only rely the time of death.
It's clearly 7:30 a.m.
No. Fuck, your account's right though. What? If this fact, okay, yeah, he died. That's a fact. I know, Fujihiko, I'm sorry. I realize
If the time in the building was, then we can only rely the time of death. It's clearly 7:30 a.m.
Yes.
The problem is in our time.
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow?
If only I heard the sound when you fell.
No. Or his scream.
Damn it!
If the time in the building was all messed up, then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death.
Actually,
It's clear-
what's Akane's rumbling noise? Got it. She heard a rumbling noise around 5:30. That's the account we need to realize on, because it's heard the thump.
The problem is what time in our time.
So we're
Are there any
behind 2
clues that can be
hours.
used to narrow?
If only I heard the sound when you fell.
Got her.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So we're 2 hours behind.
That's right. We should have heard the sound he made when he fell.
Actually, that would give
Wasn't
the
it that
killer.
rumbling noise?
Yeah, it would give the killer a lot of time as well.
Rumbling? I thought it was just an earthquake, so I went back to sleep. Was that the sound from when Nekomaru fell?
Yeah.
Well, a huge body fell from the 4th floor to the 1st, and the pillar fell with it. It's obvious we'd hear the impact sound.
We heard that noise too.
It was when we were gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge. What is it, Sonia?
Oh, well. That sound everyone heard? I did not hear it at all.
Huh?
You probably didn't hear it because you were sleeping.
I could not sleep at all. I was awake the whole night with hunger pangs.
Huh.
There's nothing to worry about. What's important is that rumbling noise anyway.
But if she didn't hear it, why?
If we use that rumbling sound as a reference, we might be able to figure out how much our time was off.
I heard that sound probably around 5:30 in the morning.
Huh? You can tell?
I instantly woke up and left my room. And that's when I saw the clock in the lounge.
Okay, so she checked then.
Excellent work, Akane!
If that rumbling we heard was at 5:30 a.m., it's like the answer we have to time was okay. It's like the answer to how much time our time was off is literally right in front of us, in front of me. It's 2 hours.
I see!
Easy.
Nekomaru's alarm went off at 7:30, and if we heard the sound of his impact at 5:30, that means our time was off by 2 hours.
2 hours? That much?
I mean, it's enough to buy time.
We were starving pretty badly. There's no way we would have noticed.
Plus, the funhouse has no windows. And there weren't any Monokuma announcements either.
True.
However, for what reason did the killer alter our perception of time?
I guess to get an alibi and be a part of the people who are waking up.
The reason is obvious. So they can lure out just Nekomaru.
Because he would have the perfect rate. I mean, he'd have the perfect time to die. I guess. They brought out Nekomaru because he's the easiest one they could manipulate, and everyone else would just go back to sleep because the time's off. Nekomaru would have the correct time, so he'd obviously go down anyway. Lure out only Nekomaru. I wonder if it's because they didn't want to kill a human, but killing a robot was easier, and they could rationalize it better.
If you messed with the clocks and used a specific thing, you definitely get Nekomaru to the tower alone, right?
Yeah, you would.
From there, the killer's plan was a splendid success. That's all it means.
Besides messing with the time, the killer also used a specific thing. If they're trying to lure only Nekomaru, then that specific thing is Monokuma Tai Chi. He was always going to it.
That's it. The killer made use of the Monokuma Tai Chi activity in the morning.
Yeah. But Monokuma didn't interfere because he saw that a murder was going to take place.
How did they use it?
We were required to go to Grape Tower every morning at 7 a.m. for that activity, right?
Yes.
But if they mess with all the clocks inside the building, what would that do to us?
We wouldn't be able to attend on time, but that wouldn't affect Nekomaru. His radio clock had the exact time.
That's right. In doing so, the killer was able to lure him to the tower by himself at the precise time.
Then, when I witnessed Nekomaru early in the morning...
That was actually the time to go down to Monokuma Taichi, and if you went with him, you might have saved his life.
If I recall, you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m. And if that time was also 2 hours off, it should have been 7 a.m. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's depressing.
At that time, he was heading over to Monokuma Taichi, right on schedule.
I see. Now that I think about it, I realize what Monokuma meant when he said those words.
Too early. He didn't even ask you yet.
Ask me what?
Jeez, how outrageous! I honestly didn't expect everyone to ditch Monokuma Taichi. But it turned out like this after all, so I guess it can't be helped.
When you said everyone, you were including us, right?
Except Nekomaru and the killer.
We thought we came to the tower on time, but in truth, it was way past the meeting time.
Yep.
Ah, jeez. That's, well, how should I put it? What was it? You know, tripping over a foot or something like that.
Oh, you gave us a freebie by doing that.
Are you talking about tripping over someone else's fault?
Wrong! Too bad.
Good try, at least.
Liar! I'm right!
That's not it. It's incorrect.
Then what's the correct one?
That's definitely the correct answer. You always get so stubborn like this.
Let's just ignore the peanut gallery. Now that we've found out how the killer lured Nekomaru,
We have to figure out which one of us did it.
the number of suspects has drastically decreased.
Yeah, I mean, you could easily lower everybody to strawberry at this point. Huh?
Hey, why would that decrease the number of suspects? Don't be a friggin' liar!
You'll know I'm not lying when you listen to what Fuyuhiko's going to say next.
Huh? What the hell do you mean?
Yeah, wait, what are you trying to say?
You witnessed Nekomaru going toward the tower. Did something else happen after that?
Are you talking about that alarm?
Oh yeah, that woke everyone else up.
Alarm?
A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off. Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it is. If Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
Sure, but I mean, who has an alibi?
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that time?
I remember now. The sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my room. But there was one guy who never left the lounge. We were both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest room.
Which means that person does not have an alibi for when Nekomaru fell?
Are you talking about Nagito?
Who is it? Who's the bastard?
It's whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time, right? Are you pointing at Nagito? Kazuuchi was there, I think. You weren't there. You weren't there. You weren't there. It was you, right? They had to tell you everything.
You're the only one!
Yeah, they had to tell you everything.
The one who wasn't there. It's you, right, Nagito?
That's right. Nagito wasn't there. It was just me, Gundam, and Fuyuhiko.
You didn't come out, even though the alarm was going off like crazy. You weren't in your room, were you?
If that's the case, where were you?
Please, say something!
If you don't hurry up and answer, I'm gonna suicide dive you!
What does that entail?
If I may be frank, even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't.
You couldn't? What do you mean?
It's merely the foolish talk of the weak.
Not only did I not hear the alarm, I never even heard that rumbling sound.
Wait, is this the same situation that occurred to, Oh, wow, wait. Why wouldn't he have heard it? He couldn't.
You're definitely fucking lying.
However, that is also true for me.
Yeah, because she didn't hear it either. Are the high-quality rooms actually soundproof?
It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry House. But I did not hear the rumbling sound either. Is that not strange? I mean, everyone else heard it.
To be honest, it's not just them. The same goes for me too.
Huh.
I was in a pretty deep sleep, so I thought that's why I couldn't hear it, but it wasn't that. I probably couldn't hear it at all.
Couldn't hear it? What does that mean?
You still don't know. Think about what the three of us who didn't hear a sound have in common, and I'm sure you'll figure it out.
It would make you guys have an alibi, actually. The only people who didn't hear the rumbling noise were Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki. The secret is what these three have in common. Could this also be the secret that points to the killer? Who else had a private room? The super room. I mean, it's soundproof. Right? No. I don't know if this is the right letter to start with. No. Not ours. Okay. Nope. Dang it. There we go. I don't know. No. I mean, diluted? I mean, diluted sound. Oh, deluxe. Okay. Got it. Deluxe suite. That's why the U's keep popping up. What? Deluxe rooms, I guess? Alright, I guess. Got it. Alright. Barely squeezed by there.
Got it!
But deluxe rooms. Who else had a deluxe room?
Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki. The three of you were staying in deluxe rooms, right?
Bam.
If I recall, the deluxe rooms are...
The guest rooms are divided up by quality grade.
The deluxe room is soundproof and has excellent air insulation. The standard room may have so-so insulation, but it's still pretty decent. Then the crummy room has severe airflow and draft problems.
The reason we could not hear the rumbling noise...
Because it was soundproof.
That's right. It was because the deluxe rooms have superior sound insulation.
Yep, and since the majority of us who heard were in crummy rooms or out of their current room, they heard it.
You actually noticed that. Nice catch, Hajime. Are you using your ultimate reserve corps student talent?
Oh my god, Nagito, shut up.
Now then, you guys must understand by now, right? The true identity of Nekomaru's killer.
It's Gundam Tanaka.
Oh, hold on a sec. Why does that lead to who the killer is?
Why? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue, and a decisive factor in identifying the killer.
Because who had a deluxe room but came out of their room on time? You know? To the alarm in the hall.
Decisive factor?
It really is decisive. Somehow I feel like I understand what Nagito means. The killer among us. The killer who murdered Nekomaru. I gotta pick again. It's either Fuyuhiko or Gundam. I'm taking my shots
You're the only
on
one.
Gundam.
Gundam, there's something I want to ask you. When the alarm rang at the Strawberry House Lounge, you rushed over there too, right?
What's wrong with that? If the bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night, it is the universe's providence to stop it.
Why were you able to hear it?
In your deluxe room.
Hear what?
I mean, you were also staying in a deluxe room, right? Nagito was staying in a deluxe room in the same house on the same floor, and he couldn't even hear it. So why were you able to hear that alarm?
Huh? Now that you mention it...
Gundam?
There is only one possibility. You weren't in your room at the time.
You were too busy killing Nekomaru.
That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right?
Can't believe it's him, though.
Gundam, you have some sort of explanation, right?
Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko. Me?
Because he was chilling out in the lounge.
After you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed at the lounge for a while. Am I correct? Until the moment that alarm started ringing, right? If you were in the lounge for that long, the killer who had left earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back.
It's true.
Even though Nekomaru's murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest, the killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
Like putting Nekomaru in sleep mode. And tying him up with the wire.
It's really dark, yeah, like all these things he did.
In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower. Which means when Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru, the killer was already at the tower.
Yeah, they had to have been waiting the entire time.
And once they tried to go back, they couldn't because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
In their original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off.
Yeah, but then why not just hide in a different room? Or they would have went to his room anyway and they realized he wasn't there. Huh.
And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge.
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound, thus proving they were in the room.
Just like us.
The best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone to check the deluxe rooms. After all, if they personally saw the killer sleeping in their room, it gives the killer a stronger alibi.
Holy shit.
Unfortunately, they failed to secure that alibi. Because I was in the lounge.
Basically, you taking the time to sit there, Fuyuhiko, guaranteed us securing this case.
So the killer couldn't go back to their room, and ended up hearing the lounge's alarm.
Yeah. Yep, that's it. That's how you got him.
But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died down.
But then they would have checked the deluxe rooms soon after and realized that he wasn't there.
If Gundam tried to hide, and if those two went to his room to check on him, he would have been found out.
Exactly.
That would have been the worst possible outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden.
If those two had just checked the deluxe rooms as planned, that would have been ideal, but how ironic. The moment Fuyuhiko set foot in the lounge, your plan was doomed.
It's so ironic.
Gundam? Please, can you at least say something?
Answer me this, including myself in my 4 dark devas of destruction. How many ears do we possess?
Why are you segueing so hard?
Huh?
The answer is 10. That's right, I possess 10 ears. That means I have 5 times the hearing of a normal human. The soundproof system here may as well not exist.
Okay, now you're just trying to lie.
Is that your argument?
Yeah, that's his argument.
You bastard. Do you understand the situation you're in right now?
Of course he does. He's trying not to die.
Do not panic. The truth shall now commence.
Yeah, he's done.
At the time, I left my room to go to the bathroom. By coincidence, I heard the alarm.
This is such a bad lie.
That's right. That's all it was. The world is always so simple.
Are you saying it was just a coincidence? Isn't that timing a little too perfect?
And yet, I'm being suspected by all of you. It seems it was actually horrible timing on my part.
I mean, it's also very convenient that you were suddenly at the bathroom at that moment.
I see. You're still holding out. Well, you don't have to admit it. We're going to decide who the killer is with the majority vote anyway. So, why don't we just go ahead and start voting? It's obvious that Gundam is the killer.
Hold on a sec.
You know, Hajime.
Yeah, I just want complete affirmation that he is the killer, okay? Every single killing, every single conviction has had that person admit they did it.
This class trial, this killing, it's merely the opening act, you know.
What do you mean, opening act?
Hey! What do you mean the class trial is just the opening act?
Perhaps I should say, it's just a farce?
What? Oh, because the ultimate game that will begin whenever that big bomb in the center of the island goes off?
Just a boring farce. So boring, so stressful. I'm so painfully bored that I might develop stomach ulcers.
Jeez, man.
Seriously. Let's just hurry up and finish this before I collapse from poor health.
Okay then.
Nagito, something definitely happened to you, didn't it?
I think he read something and he freaked out. I'm almost positive he read something about you, Hajime, or about the crimes of the before, and he's lost his shit. He isn't the same Nagito we know anymore. I think he's a new person. Like, he's a fraction of what he was before.
At some point during the investigation, your behavior became even weirder.
Yeah, he was very positive until he did the death game. And then after the death game, he, like, found the truth and just went boop.
What actually happened? Did you discover something?
Well, let's just leave that fun for later. And finish this opening act already.
I think Nagito knows a little bit more than he's letting on.
Ah, you said opening act again!
Monokuma, calm down, okay? We're trying to do this. Stop freaking out.
Please hold on. We have yet to hear Gundam's rebuttal.
Just because you like him, Sonia, doesn't make him innocent.
But he's completely shut up. Perhaps he can't argue anymore.
Gundam!
I was simply at a loss for words after being dumbfounded by your pathetic assumption. In fact, I shall deny the very basis. Your assumption has been wrong since the beginning.
Oh, bring it on, Gundam. I will kick your ass in the debate off.
Since the beginning?
Based on your assumption, I hung Nekomaru from the 4th floor of the tower and made the floor descend to the 1st floor.
What are you gonna argue behind? How did I get to the other side?
From there, after returning to Strawberry House, I was present when the alarm at the lounge went off, correct?
Yes.
Although going to and fro is busy enough as it is, how would I be able to travel between both houses anyway?
Wow, you are really pinning your horses to really shitty arguments, Gundam.
I see. The contact elevator was broken.
As I recall, the killer tampered with the Grape House control panel, which shut down the elevator. Plus, the stopped elevator should have been facing the Grape House side. If so, the human who used the elevator would have left it at Grape House.
Yes, you tricked Monokuma into Strawberry House, took the elevator down to Grape House, broke it there, walked into well, I guess you broke the Strawberry Halls button first. Then you took the elevator down, broke the elevator panel, walked into the Grape Hall, called the thing down, caused Monokuma to crash and die, and then proceeded to go up to the 4th floor of Grape Tower. Because the problem is, if Akane didn't go to sleep, she might have caught you then and there. But she didn't. She went back to sleep thinking it was just an earthquake.
For these reasons, it's an indisputable fact that the killer destroyed the elevator at Grape House.
And what's wrong with that?
If the elevator was broken at Grape House, he wouldn't be able to return to Strawberry
Yes,
House.
he can, because he did the ultimate death game.
However, I was already at Strawberry House. I was present when the alarm in the lounge started ringing. Which means your assumption is clearly wrong.
Okay.
Are you serious? And here I thought it's already been decided.
No, he's delusional. He is fucking delusional.
Have you learned your lesson, pitiful humans? You cannot overcome this contradiction.
Yes, you can, if you take into consideration how Nagito was able to transcend. That's wrong. When something is obviously wrong, that's when a contradiction is born. There's no such thing as a contradiction that can't be overcome. Here we go. Oh, it's an argument, not a panic talk action? Damn it. Alright, well. Give me Nagito. Oh, we have no Nagito. Wow. I guess it's contact elevator.
That elevator was
The
only means of travel between the two houses.
No, it wasn't.
As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Please.
Plus, the elevator was
anything, Nagito.
broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House,
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they... Or if there was a secret passageway.
That one.
How much longer do you plan to lecture me? Why don't we stop this already?
Yeah, I got you. I got you, buddy. Secret passageway.
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses.
That was it. It was these stupid buttons. Alright,
As long as that your assumption
Plus, the elevator broken at Grape House.
if the killer cannot return to
Since I was at Strawberry, there's no question that the following...
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
Yep.
How much longer? Why don't we stop this already?
Secret passageway on the only way of travel.
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses.
Got you.
No, that's wrong.
Boom! Super counter. Thank you, Akane.
No, there should have been another way to move between the two houses without the elevator.
Pretty sure it's a ladder and a trapdoor.
Such a method does not exist.
Yes, it does.
Then why don't we ask the person who actually used that method?
Alright, let's go to our neighborhood friendly Nagito Komieda.
You're the only one!
We've now heard you're the only one.
Nagito, you should know.
What are you talking about?
Don't play dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time because you used that method, right?
It's true. How'd you get into our house, or how'd you get into the Grape House without it? Because I showed up.
There's a secret passage connecting the first floor of Strawberry House to the third floor of Grape House. Isn't that right?
Jeez. Once again, I let the reserve course show up.
I don't know if you're surprised or just pissed that it keeps coming out this way.
But you're right. There's a door on the floor of the Octagon, which is on the first floor of Strawberry House. After I opened the door and went down... Surprise, surprise! I ended up in the Monokuma Archive, which is on the third floor of Grape House.
Meaning, the third floor and the fourth floor are actually connected.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Plus, once you've cleared the final dead room once, you can pass through it as many times as you want.
If they used that secret passage, they could have gone between the two houses as much as they wanted.
Okay.
Infinity Unlimited Flame!
Alright, here's our panic talk action.
However,
or an
what if
argument.
the killer was unaware of the existence of the final dead room?
How are you unaware?
There's no way they didn't know.
That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion.
Or your own delusion.
If you value your life, you should stop with your scrutiny.
Okay.
There's no way I can stop.
What did you say? Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Alright. I guess we got a rebuttal showdown here. I don't know. Let's see what he says, and we'll figure it out as we go.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion.
This is like the weirdest...
Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
I am so confused. Okay.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Jesus, okay, this is retarded. His argument isn't exhausting, it's just stupid.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Okay, yeah, it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's just ridiculous.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Okay, I gotta figure out how to slice
Even
this.
if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Fuck! Alright. Your conversation
Even
is
if the turbid box doesn't
ridiculous.
exist, you could travel through multiple planes,
Down.
provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
I can't back
Oh
down.
man! No! Yes! Give me that click war!
I already proved a secret passage exists.
Alright.
The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light!
The fuck? Probably means trying to provide the evidence the killer went to the Octagon, right? If that's the case, I should have it too. The key which dwells in the light that will break the
Know
darkness.
the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark,
I mean,
you
the
cur!
wire would be it, right?
If you don't want, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light!
Yeah, I got it. I know.
Know
it
the
is.
limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom...
The wire.
Allow
How
me to
else
cut
do you
through
get
those
the
words.
wire? You had to have gone there for all this.
The wire used to string up Nekomaru's
Or
body.
even the hammer.
The hammer that looked like the weapon. And the chain on the door in the tower. Those are all the items that weren't in Funhouse. Where did the killer obtain them?
The only place I can think of is the Octagon. There were various weapons and tools there. I'm pretty sure I saw stuff like wires, hammers, and chains too.
Exactly.
Since those items were used in the crime, there's no doubt that the killer went to the Octagon.
I mean, there's no other reason why he didn't. Got him.
If that's the case, they obviously know about the secret passage too, right?
And why they thought to kill Nekomaru via the elevator probably came from that too.
It seems this is the end. Normally, we'd end up listening to Hajime lecture us with a very long summary of the case.
Nagito, are you just gonna sum it for me?
But there's no reason to waste any more time on this opening act. So I'm going to end this right now.
Hey, what do you...
He just destroyed my mojo, dude.
First of all, by messing with all the clocks in the building, Gundam tried to lure only Nekomaru. The elevator was probably broken by that point. Thanks to that, Nekomaru wasn't able to go to Grape Tower, which was supposed to be the meetup point.
Oh, is he just like...
So he tried going over to Strawberry Tower.
He's controlling on his own.
Just like we did when we found out the elevator was broken.
Shit.
Well, it's obvious he'd attempt that. At that time, we didn't know the two towers were the Also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken, so he was easily able to enter Strawberry Tower. But surprise! Gundam was waiting for Nekomaru's arrival.
Well, hold on. If Nekomaru didn't go to Strawberry Tower, what would the killer have done then?
Huh.
Their plan was a balancing act of uncertainties. But even if they failed, they probably wouldn't have minded. They can just greet everyone the next morning as if nothing happened, and come up with a different plan.
Oh, so even if they didn't kill Nekomaru.
And, without such a risky plan, they wouldn't have been able to lure him at all.
I'm going to continue summarizing the case, okay?
Go for
Through
it, buddy.
Gundam successfully lured Nekomaru to Strawberry Tower. There's no way he could fight head-on with the robotic Nekomaru.
It's kind of cool.
So by pressing the goodnight button, he rendered Nekomaru powerless without fighting it.
What? Yeah, but I do like it that he's just kind of taking the realm of it, and I can't even, like, I can skip through his conversation, or I can let him just speak.
Hold on! You... What did you just say? That I didn't battle?
Oh, you did battle him then.
What's wrong with that?
Don't mess with me! Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore those words!
Oh, shit. So they did have a fight.
Why are you angry all of a sudden?
You fools do not understand! You don't understand at all! Ha! You make me laugh! After all this time, you still don't understand anything at all!
I don't understand anything. What does that mean?
It appears I cannot finish just yet. Maybe I'm just a human destined for hell. However, I cannot finish just yet. I cannot finish!
What do you intend to do?
I mean, go into a panic talk action, that's for sure.
It's obvious! I'm going to destroy your illusory assumptions!
Are you saying you still have more? You still have room to argue?
All right.
Your words. You said I pressed Nekomaru's goodnight button. However, that button was on the back of Nekomaru's neck. To press it, I'd have to get behind him.
It's not easy to get the drop on Coach Nekomaru.
It's even more difficult if it's a one-on-one situation.
Just as I thought, truly frail. Succumbing so easily to this simple argument, it was just a mere illusion.
I don't know about that.
If you want to set me up as the killer, at least surpass your own human limitations.
That's wrong, Gundam. You're the one who's wrong.
Such a wonderful line. However, I cannot say that I'm satisfied. Listen well. I shall teach you 2 tips for making someone admit their defeat. First, you must crush them with your own overwhelming power. And as for the other, you must provide a reason that will persuade that human. You have not fulfilled either of those yet.
I guess you really don't want to admit it. Then just as you requested, I will provide an argument that will leave you no choice but to be persuaded. Yeah, it's finally time. The final fight. Can we break through?
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! Show me the cadaver! I won't let you!
I just kind of like hearing him say really dumb things.
Wither. Crushed as David prophesies, I won't let you. For the Tanaka Empire. Wither. Crushed as David prophesied. For the Tanaka Empire. I won't let you. For the Tanaka Empire.
Jesus Christ, I got lucky getting my power back.
It's Nekomaru's back. Do you really think I can get behind him so easily?
For Dark
This is the end.
They probably helped you win. That was kind of the easiest one to get. Huh.
Even if you didn't get behind Nekomaru, you should have been able to press the button on the back of his neck.
Yeah, your divas could have done it.
As long as you have the power of the hamsters you keep with you.
Oh?
Are you seriously saying he used his hamsters to press the button on the back of Nekomaru's neck?
Yeah, there's a small hole broken out of it, right?
Of course that'd be impossible for a normal hamster, but it would have been possible for Gundams. In fact, we saw that with our very own eyes, right?
What did they do again? Emissary of evil, in accordance with our ancient contract, the time has come to lend me your aid. Oh yeah. They know how to press buttons. I pressed the button. Truly, this is the skyline. Lamentation art of the demon mouse. Soon the door to destiny shall open.
Now that you mention it, after Ibuki was killed in the music venue,
He did use his hamsters to get that fabric from the top.
one of Gundam's hamsters retrieved the piece of wallpaper from the baton lighting, right?
Yeah, they're pretty smart at what they're doing.
Hey, with your friends and their exceptionally smart brains, it must have been possible to secretly get one of them behind Mekamaru and press the button on the back of his neck.
How about it, Gundam?
Not just myself, but you actually brought up how splendid my subordinates are.
Yeah.
I have no recourse but to admit it.
Oh wow, you just gave up?
Admit it? Did you say you admit it?
It appears I've obtained a one-way ticket to hell.
Huh, didn't expect Gundam to succumb to murder.
Fine! Then you must trample me underfoot and advance. Victory can only be built upon a foundation of corpses. You cannot find peace without sacrifice anywhere. Now, trample this life. Trample it as though it were mere trash on the side of the road. Pull the curtain strings of this worthless performance with your own two hands.
Closing argument? Wait, is this the comic? Oh, so I get my comic arc anyway. Fuck you. Alright, who said the alarm lounge clocks? None of these matter right now. Who was at the lounge since early in the morning? None of these matter. What time in Tofuru? He saw him at 5:30. Yep. He went down there. He sent his 4 Dark Divas in there. They had a battle of the ages. That's his weakness. And then he set his alarm. The wire wrapped around Nekomaru's feet. No. No. The fake weapon. No. Yes. Okay, so we got the next one. Alright. I woke up at the door to Strawberry Hall got destroyed. So let's scroll on back. This one goes here. He broke that button. Wire. No. I think it's... Who was in the lounge since early in the morning? Fuyuhiko. Who's the alarm's lounge clock? None of you guys. Let's scroll through. What else are we missing here? That's the wire at his feet. Fake weapon. Gathered at the lounge. You heard the rumble. Oh, I count. Crap, because she's right there. Yeah, I count in there. Alright. Messing with the base contact elevator. None of this matters. Who gathered at the lounge? None of that matters. That was the fake weapon left. None of this. Yep. Yep. Alright. Now the last stock. Alright. Scrolling through here. So we kind of got everything. It's just the last bit here. We got all that. You guys met in the lounge. What? Alright. Lies. Slander. Who is it? Oh, the fake weapon. And then who gathered? It was you. And that's it.
Here's everything that happened in this case.
Got it.
Let's first go over the many tricks the killer prepared before they committed the crime. First, they destroyed the contact elevator. This separated Nagito and the others in Strawberry House from our group in Grape House. Next, they lured Nekomaru out by himself by turning back all the clocks in the funhouse by 2 hours. Additionally, in order to secure an alibi, the killer went to the Strawberry House lounge and set the wall clock's alarm to 5:30 a.m. After finishing their preparations, the killer went to Strawberry Tower with the necessary tools in hand. They obtained these tools from the Octagon, which you can enter once you clear the final dead room. This means the killer discovered the secret of the funhouse faster than anybody else. That secret being, Strawberry House and Grape House are actually the same building. On the morning of the incident, Nekomaru woke up and headed over to Grape Tower for a specific reason. There, Fuyuhiko, who was at the lounge by coincidence, witnessed Nekomaru. According to Fuyuhiko's testimony, that was around 5 a.m., but by that point, the killer had already messed with our perception of time. In actuality, Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru at 7 a.m. That's also the same time Monokuma Taichi begins. Nekomaru went to Grape Tower to participate in that. However, because the contact elevator was broken, Nekomaru was unable to go to Grape Tower. So he decided to try going to Strawberry Tower.
So in Strawberry Tower?
The killer was waiting for him there. With the power of hamsters, they were able to press the good night button on the back of Nekomaru's neck.
The power of hamsters.
This forced him to enter sleep mode, rendering him immobile. From there, the killer began preparing to use the ultimate weapon. First, they set the alarm in Nekomaru's chest to 7:30 a.m. so he'd wake up. Then they tied him up with a metal wire, tied the tip of the wire into a loop, and hung it on the doorknob.
But how would that hold him up perfectly?
After leaving Strawberry Tower, the killer then destroyed the door button to Strawberry Hall. They did this to keep us from entering Strawberry Tower, and to keep us from discovering the secret of the building structure that they used to kill Nekomaru.
Yeah.
Then, they used the secret octagon passageway to travel to Grape House. After arriving at Grape Hall, they pressed the button to open the door to the tower. When that happened, the elevator-like floor of the tower began descending. And Nekomaru's body was still inside, dangling upside down in midair from the wire. The killer entered Grape Tower to see if their setup was successful. And placed a hammer on the floor to look like the weapon, then wrapped a chain around the back door.
But why the back door?
This was done to make us falsely believe we couldn't enter the tower from Strawberry Hall. With this, the killer finished their setup and tried to go back to their room using the secret passage.
Oh, because we kept thinking that they were the same floor. Okay, yeah.
So they could craft their alibi when Nekomaru died from the fall. But something unexpected happened. Fuyuhiko, who saw Nekomaru earlier, was still at the lounge. As a result, the killer couldn't return to their room, and with no options available, time ran out. The lounge's wall clock alarm started ringing at 5:30. Well, actually 7:30.
And that's when Nekomaru woke up and then fell.
To avoid a worst-case scenario, the killer was forced to appear in front of Fuyuhiko with the others. When the wall clock's alarm rang, that was also the same time Nekomaru was waking up. He woke up while he was still hanging upside down, so he couldn't help but sway his body powerfully. Originally, the loop of wire was only supposed to slip off the doorknob. But because there was a heavier load than expected, the doorknob ended up breaking.
Yep.
Nekomaru fell from the 4th floor all the way to the 1st floor.
That's ridiculous.
He crashed into the pillar, which decapitated him on impact, and died. The sound of Nekomaru's impact echoed throughout the funhouse. However, by this point, the killer's plan was about to fail, thanks to the broken doorknob and Fuyuhiko. Meaning, the killer is someone who wouldn't have heard the alarm if they were in the deluxe room. They also wouldn't have been able to return to their guest room, because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
Yes.
That someone is Gundam Tanaka. I can't think of anyone else but you.
I mean, at least he gave him his credit. I think that's what he wanted this time around, was the credit to, you know, be taken seriously.
Splendid. That was splendid. For a mere human, you did quite well.
Well, thanks, Gundam.
Stop. Stop it already. Stop using weird words to avoid the truth. Or I'll friggin' kill you myself!
I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe. You killed Nekomaru?
Yeah, he did.
I cannot believe something like that.
You don't wish to forgive me? Do you feel regret? Then finish it! Cast your impure votes for Gundam Tanaka! My beloved, deadly foes, let the voting time begin!
Oh my god. Yeah, we did it, I guess. I'm trying to see how well we did overall. We did a lot better in the second half, I guess. Give me a plus B. Aw, man, I wanted a B plus. Damn it. Alright, a B's fine. We did really bad at the beginning. Probably died way too much.
This result isn't all that exciting.
No, of course not.
Now then, please pull the lever in front of you and cast your vote. Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Funny thing is, watch like Sonya not vote him.
Please pull the lever! Crap! I bit my tongue at the most important part!
That's always good. Alright, let's see what this execution is, cause Gundam Tanaka, Chapter 4's Killer, has been brought to justice. We just got Nekomaru back. It's like depressing when you think about that. Alright.
It'd be bad if I bit my tongue again, so I'll speak slowly. Judging from the results, you guys were correct once again. Getting 4 in a row without any mistakes is a splendid achievement. That's right. The one who killed the robotic Nekomaru was the amazing Funhouse. Was Gundam Tanaka.
Nice!
Yay! All said. I said that without bending my tongue.
Now then.
We've decided who the killer is, so let's do the execution already and get this over with. Hold on. It's true the class trial is finished, but that doesn't mean the incident is over. We can't finish until we hear it from Gundam.
Jeez.
No matter what he says, it won't change a thing. Well, I have no right to stop you either, so do whatever you like.
Fall, my tears.
Why did you want to talk to one who has lost? The loser merely leaves. It would just be unnecessary for me to say something.
Listen well.
Speaking in his voice hurts every time.
Is what I would like to say, but for honor's sake, I shall correct one thing.
Correct.
How pitiful.
You guys said I made Nekomaru powerless without fighting him. That, however, is a great mistake.
Huh?
Fine.
Nekomaru did fight. That is no mistake. And because he fought, he lost and died.
Damn it!
Lost and died?
This, too, must be the will of causality.
If he was just trying to cling to life, there are many ways he could have done so. However, he did not allow that.
You.
What do you mean? Explain.
Fine then. I shall reveal it all.
Let's make history.
Within the final dead room, I discovered the final secret of the funhouse, and I devised a killing plan utilizing that secret. By tampering with all the clocks in the building, I succeeded in luring Nekomaru to the tower. And this is what happened. Nekomaru and I were alone in the tower, standing face to face with one another. I should say I expected as much from Nekomaru. He sensed my subtle killing intent, and instantly understood the situation. And we had ourselves a stare down. In that situation, if he wanted to run away, that would have been easy for him to do so. He could have run away, or even called for help, but he did not turn his back to me. Instead, he chose to fight that risked life and death.
That is...
A fight that risked life and death?
Let me tell you.
He was serious too. He gave it his all to try and kill me.
Huh?
If I had died instead, the mystery surrounding the case would have been even more complicated. You would have never known why I, the victim, went to the tower by myself.
I can see it!
Nobody would have known that the victim was me. Was actually the one who planned the whole thing.
Could it be?
Nekomaru really did that?
Sensing even my subtle killing intent, as expected of you, Nekomaru.
This scorching, stinging, tense atmosphere. I've been a team manager for so long, I'd nearly forgotten this. This is great! What a comforting atmosphere!
So you just got excited and fought you.
That's a great line.
And what is your reason? Do you intend to resolve this situation by killing me?
I am the Warlock, Gundam Tanaka. Heroes, Lords of Darkness, and even the gods themselves flee from me. I need not cling to any trivial reason. I'm simply going to kill you because your very existence is an annoyance.
You'll drench your soul with evil until the bitter end, huh? Splendid! In response to your spirit, I shall kill you with all of my might.
So that's why. He respected his intent and gave him a fair fight.
I won't go easy on you. Don't even think about holding back. Don't waste your breath on cowardly tactics! Give me everything you got!
I mean, I respect Nekomaru more because of this.
Nekomaru need die. Your blood will drench the foundation of my empire!
It's just so trivial to
That
fight.
is...
Why? Why did you fight? We're all friends. Why couldn't you stop this? Even if both sides agreed, it's still wrong.
I will not argue. I have no intention of forcing my values upon you.
Let me tell you this.
However, I must say this. What's the point of living if you're just waiting until you finally die?
You weakling!
There's nothing courageous about that. That is abandonment, a mere feeling of resignation.
Wait, are you telling us to just wait until we starve to death? I'd rather have that happen to us than have our friends kill each other. Huh? Do you mean you'd rather die?
Fall.
Ever since we were locked inside that building, everyone had been dominated by that feeling of abandonment. However, nothing is born from resignation. That is simply a reason to give up.
If you flinch, you will die!
Giving up on life? That's just an insult to life itself.
Let me ask.
Have your fools ever heard of the term dog eat dog?
Cannibalism?
Fine.
In zoology.
Cannibalism is a commonly observed phenomenon. Many creatures at some point in their lifespan engage in cannibalism.
Listen well.
That is what it means to live. If you say killing for the sake of living is evil, then what would you call giving up on life instead?
I shall engulf this
If a world would consider that justice, then I will fight that world. I will fight that world with every last fiber of my being. Giving up on life and choosing death is nothing more than blasphemy towards life.
I renounce you!
It is a violation of the natural order. It is the arrogance of humanity.
You.
Are you saying all that just to try and justify what you did? But it sounds like Nekomaru felt the same too. That's why they fought, right?
Damn it.
Fine.
That man had the courage to die when he needed to die. That is why he challenged me to our battle. Regardless, as I've already said, I do not intend to force my values upon you fools. I have betrayed you all. That is the absolute truth.
Fall, my tears.
But even so, you don't think it's better an alternative to slowly starving to death here?
Oh,
That belief is why you committed your crime.
you...
Hey, what about the final dead room? Did you do the Russian roulette too?
Let's make history.
Unlike Nagito, I did it once, but compared to my battle with Nekomaru, that was mere child's play.
Well,
You know, after listening to you talk for a while, I'm starting to think that, well, it's also because you unexpectedly admitted your crime without much resistance. Gundam, don't tell me you didn't sacrifice yourself for our sake, did you?
I wouldn't believe,
Blah, blah, blah.
Humph. I can't believe you would ask such a foolish question.
My name is Gundam Tanaka.
History's greatest monster. My cursed existence is feared by all mankind. There's no way I'd sacrifice myself for the sake of you fools.
Fade like dust in the wind.
Not in a million, not in a billion, not in 10,000 billion years. In the name of pandemonium, it is impossible.
Is that it? Then I'll just leave it at that.
Now then, let us be rid of this foolish talk. It is about time for the fun to start. Monokuma, let us begin.
Yes, indeed.
Got it. I've prepared a special punishment for the ultimate breeder, Gundam Tanaka.
Please wait.
This is just too much.
I beg of you.
Please, Monokuma, help Gundam.
Huh? Miss Sonia.
I beg of you.
How pitiful.
Sonia. As an act as unrefined as stopping a man from going to his death does not befit a noble such as yourself.
Gundam. It's fine to start for reals, right?
Fine.
Yes, I do not mind, however.
What is it, my 4 dark devas of destruction? Are you worried about me? Oh, my feared 4 dark devas of destruction. That is not like you at all.
Aww.
However, there is no need to fear. In this world, I am only a temporary visitor. I was simply visiting for a moment, and now that my duty is complete, I must return to the darkness.
But then who will keep your 4 Dark Divas?
That is why, until the very end. Pride, conceit, courage, insolence, fearful of nothing, daunted by nothing. Let us laugh uproariously! That is Gundam Tanaka! I shall stick with my evil until the very end! Open sesame pandemonium! I shall fill hell with true hell!
Yeah, you've given up. Okay. I mean, you roleplayed to the end, I guess.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Alright, I guess we get to see the next execution. Well... Wait, does he lose his Dark Divas of Destruction, or do they stick around? Oh, that's... Okay. Gundam Tanaka Stampede, Ultimate Breeder. That's a lot of them. Are you going to welcome your death? Oh, you're leaving them behind and taking your death straight on? Oh, you're doing your pentagram. The thing is, I know that's not real. Yeah. That's about as far as I imagined it to go. Straight up like the Lion King in this bitch. That's such a brutal way to die. Like a straight up stampede. Oh. Well, that was just depressing. Alright, guys, I'm going to call this episode here. So that was the Chapter 4 class trial, and everything after this is pretty much just conversation. And then the next chapter will begin. I'm sorry for the delay. Holiday, Thanksgiving showed up, and it just kind of became a collaborated mess of me not getting time to record because I was busy with hanging out with family and all that hubbub. So I'm going to try to get another video out to you guys. It's just going to be difficult, so hopefully keep your eyes open for that on Friday. I'm going to try my best to get these videos out to you guys as promptly and as possible to you guys. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm excited to see what I guess not the last chapter. I would assume it's 5 and then another one. But I'm excited to see what the next chapter has in store, as well as the 5th island. So keep an eye out for the Monami level, because I'm assuming that's unlocked once I clear to the next chapter. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoyed the series so far, and thank you again for bearing with me and my awful recording schedule. I gotta get it chip shopping back together. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. It's Tofuru, signing out.